States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let the record show all selectmen. Select board all present. Consent agenda warrant number 14, 11/27/23, number 15, 11/27/23, number 16, 12/11/23. Payroll register number 48, 11/30/23, number 49, 12/7/23, and number 50, 12/14/23.
I make a motion to accept the AP warrants, numbers 14, 15, 16, payroll registers 48, 49.
All right, a motion and a second to accept the AP warrant as read and the payroll register as read. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. Letter D, acceptance of the minutes as amended of the select board meeting on November 27th, 2023. AP warrants, the correction is AP warrants from 11/27/23, number 13, not 12, and 11/13/23, not 11/27/23. Was $499,782.83. Any questions or we need a motion? Yes.
Motion to accept the amended minutes from 11/27/23. Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the amended minutes from November 27th, 2023. All those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. Old business, to discuss the engineering study of town-owned buildings, the RFP draft. This has not gone out yet.
It has not gone out. I needed to make sure that you guys were all good with it. I emailed it to you. I think the only thing I changed was at the end, section 3, the evaluation criteria. I modified it so that it was more even across the board. But if you have any concerns or any issues with the content of it, just let me know.
The only thing I had a question of is, the date is January 19th for it to be due back, right?
Yep.
And then, they're gonna be open on the 19th also?
No, it's, the next sentence says, proposals will be presented to the Board of Selectmen at the
Monday.
January 22nd meeting.
Right.
So,
Maybe I saw something and I said that they were open.
it's on the very front page.
Well, no, I know,
Page
that
2 it
part,
says.
but on the second page, it says, all bids shall be in writing, and then it goes on to say, and not to be opened until January 19th, 2024.
Well, that should say the 22nd. So I'll fix that.
All right, so I don't think we need a motion to send this out. All right, everybody good with it? We'll push it along.
And then I included a list of who I'm gonna send it to. I'm also gonna put the RFP on the website and make it available so that people can contact. Okay?
Thank you. All right, items of communication, certificates of settlement, transfer tax commitments from trust to the new tax collector.
New tax collector has not been identified yet, but let's see. This is the one I got. These are all the tax settlements that need to be signed, and then they will be transferred to the new tax collector. Cheyenne has agreed, if you want her to be the tax collector as well as the treasurer and the town clerk and the register of voters. I'm hesitant because, you know, we did that, well, what you said, it was Tim, and then it got all dumped on Tris, and so now, do we want to do the same thing? So Jill has also said that she would take on the role of tax collector.
And that person in Jill's position take on that role.
Yes, she can. Yes, she can't be treasurer, but she can be tax collector and issue the liens.
My only concern with Jill, I don't think Cheyenne should have that role. She probably doesn't know how much she doesn't.
Exactly.
She doesn't know how much she doesn't know yet.
Yep.
She has a lot on her plate. And there's too many deadlines and everything else that it would be difficult for her because she's also going to be running an election when some of those deadlines happen for the tax collector.
Okay.
And my only concern with Jill is, she's quite capable, I'm sure she's quite capable of doing it, but the deadlines too are gonna affect her because the audit will be, is like, I don't know exactly when she's gonna send out the lead notices and all that, but it's gonna be in the time frame of June to August. And that's usually when audit is being done.
Okay.
So that's a lot of work for her. You can't sway somebody that's in that.
I mean,
I will say that.
I'll volunteer, again, I'll volunteer and take on tax collector until we can get the next budget put together and include a new position that would include a person that would take on tax collector.
Because one of those, you only got one full-time person that's at that counter. That person is there day to day. They see the whole process. They don't get it. They're missing, they don't have the, responsibility of putting out to leave and stuff like that. But you have somebody in there in your office right now that can teach that person how to do the research at the registry. Like Deb could teach. She's good at that.
Yep.
She's very good at that. She used to do it in town. So if
Yep.
she could teach somebody, I'm not saying Deb needs that role either, but it just seems like.
Deb has rejected that role.
Okay, I don't think she needs that.
Yeah.
I know.
But
Can you tell us what your suggestions are?
Well, the only other people in the office are Julie Rich, and she's not interested, and then there would be myself and Jeff Drew. And then the alternative is to find somebody outside of the office that would take it on, but I don't know that we've got the budget to put another person, another paid person in.
Not right now.
I would say let's let Jill have a crack at it. And if she comes back to us and says she can't do it, I mean, not that she can't do it, but it's just too much.
Yep.
And we can adjust from there. And I think she's very capable of doing whatever she sets her mind to. I mean, I'm not familiar with all the deadlines and all that stuff. I don't know that stuff, but I think if she's gonna make a commitment to do it, she's gonna give it her all
And she won't be doing it alone.
right.
In the meantime, you can evaluate how this is working.
Yep.
And if push comes to shove, if we do need another person, then we need to justify it somehow.
Yeah. We've tried it.
When we go to town.
Right,
we'll have to
we've tried it with somebody other than the town manager. And
Yeah.
so we've tried it, and the person just is overwhelmed.
Right.
And we have to make a move there.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
you want to make a motion to approve her, or just, you do that?
Yeah, I think that's me, I can do that.
Okay.
I can appoint. So I will confirm with her. I also have somebody that's coming in next week that's gonna come in as a per diem. We're looking at filling the role because Deb has been dealing with some personal issues and we've been, behind the counter has been short-staffed for a couple of weeks now. So it's possible that the per diem person may be able to take it on. I don't know, but we'll look into that too.
Okay.
I do not want to overwhelm Jill.
Well, I mean, I think she's gonna, if she's accepting it, she's
Yeah.
accepting that there are deadlines and there are things that she has to meet.
Yeah.
And I think she has to determine with you if she can handle that when it happens. I mean, give her a chance, we're never gonna know.
Right.
Okay, number 2, appointment of Cheyenne Stevens as Register of Voters.
Okay, so this is you guys, you will need to make a vote on this one. This is one that you do appoint.
I make a
Yes,
motion
we
to
vote.
appoint Cheyenne Stevens as the voter registrar.
I'll second.
All right, a motion and a second to appoint Cheyenne Stevens as Register of Voters. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? All in favor, motion carries. All right, we have department head reports for the code enforcement in your packet. Fire, we have for library and sheriff. We have the road commissioner here. Any questions for any of those other than the road commissioner? Okay, Mike is here, and Mike, anything you want to add to what you gave us?
Yeah, just a lot of damage, this storm is gonna put us behind something, so everybody just needs to realize that, we're trying to catch up, but it's gonna cost us some.
I mean, there's some we can put into the declaration of emergency.
Yeah.
By the governor.
Everything's been underneath FEMA, I've recorded everything, all the paperwork's right in line, I've got all my ducks in a row, so everything's good, it's just, it's gonna cost us some money, so. River Road's pretty bad, it's gonna cost us quite a bit, to do some repairs over there. So, and we still haven't scratched all the surfaces yet, but we're getting there. Going as quick as we can,
Yeah.
so.
Is that River Road damage, is that the same area that was damaged the last?
Yeah, it's worse this time.
Yeah.
Instead of, last time it was like kinda shallow, this time it's like 3 feet, all the way down the edge of the road. And, yeah.
Is that passable now?
It is, I've opened up the one lane, because CMP had called me earlier, and they want to be able to get down and repair lines, so I opened it up to one lane. It's passable, as long as they stay off the right-hand side some, so, but. And then we had MMA come through, so we've had to do a lot of updates through that. I think you guys probably know what MMA is, so. We got dinged on a few things like that, and we had to upgrade a lot of stuff. We were behind the 8 ball, and had no choice, I had to upgrade it. So, just some things we gotta pay attention to that we have not paid attention to in the past, and we got done on quite a few things, so,
Catching up.
yeah.
Such as, what do you
Like-
mean?
One of the things is, we didn't have bed locks, they were using wood
Yep.
to boost up the body. You can't do that. It's illegal, you can't do it. So we had to purchase bed locks, a set of them, a new ladder, you can't use the ones that we had. First aid kits, striping in the shop, certain places had to be marked, fire extinguishers had to be all remarked and updated. Just a lot of stuff, I mean, and I'm trying to catch up the best we can and try to stay within a line, but it's not gonna happen totally. But we're trying.
All right, any questions for Mike? I do have one.
Yeah,
The last snowstorm, and I can barely remember the last snowstorm. So, the after pickup of snow off the street on like Madison Avenue and Weston Avenue, and places. I mean, is that going to happen in the next storm? I mean, I understand things break down, but
right.
I really think
It
in the
is
past-
happening. We got behind the 8 ball because we had one guy that did not, that was seasonal, but he wanted to choose what job he did, and I can't do that. I have certain people for certain things, and you gotta do what I need you to do. So he never came in.
Yeah.
So that put us behind. And when you're short-staffed, we can only do so much per day at certain times. And best time to clear up snow is at midnight,
Right.
when we don't have all that traffic. So when you run out of time, then sidewalk machine broke down, so we had to run back. We fixed that within an hour, and got right back out there.
Right.
So it makes it hard, but I did hire another guy for a seasonal, which is excellent. So I'm not gonna, shouldn't have any issues on this next storm.
Right, I think if storms, and they aren't doing it this way, come one right after the other, and we don't clear that stuff off there, it's going to be a mess. It's gonna be, you're gonna be having maybe one lane down through those.
Well, in my experience, yes, you can have a mess, but when you got the guys on the road for 16 hours, I have to give them a break.
Right, oh,
I can't just put them right back out there the next night and say, let's go. That's dangerous for one, but, you know, we got on it the next day, but they were on the road for quite a while.
Yeah, all right.
So-
I just think we need to make it part of our plan.
Well, it is part of the plan, like I said, but when I had one person designated to do something, he backed out, and,
Yep.
you know, I was out there with him at midnight.
Because along with us, you're gonna take the grief for
Oh,
not
of
clearing
course.
it out.
I love taking the grief. I'm good at it.
All right, any other questions for any of the departments?
Do you want to talk about Walter Road and the end of it? Walter
Oh,
Road was supposed to be on the agenda for
Yes.
why is it a town road?
we have Walters Road, what was the other one?
Robbins.
Robbins.
Robbins and Chamberlain Court. I don't know, I think we all need to discuss this and figure this out and bring it to somebody's attention, but Robbins Road goes to two houses. That is a driveway. Okay? Walters Road, same thing.
So at some point, that was brought to the board and it was approved. I mean, is that accurate to say that?
I
can't find any
I
record.
can't find anything either. But in my eyes, I want everybody to understand, as we're doing all these driveways so-called, it's taken away from other roads that are more important. When this one driveway goes to two houses and it stops, why are we plowing that? So that means I can go to Ron's house, go plow his and Sally's and Kathy's. In my eyes, those are not roads, those are private drives. And I don't know how these all added on here, but they've been doing them for years now. But it's taken away from doing the regular jobs.
Yeah.
If it's not designated as a town road, you have no obligation whatsoever to maintain that road. That's a designated town road. That's just what we're talking about when we talk about the Adams Road.
Yes.
That is a town road. It needs to be discontinued or we're gonna dump $200,000 into it. But if it's when Charlie Lane for a number of years, that was their driveway.
Right.
They came to the board, I was on the board back there, and asked to have that put in as a town road. The board accepted that, and once it did, then it became part of the highways problem, or I shouldn't say problem, process of taking care of Charlie Road.
Right, Trolley Road too also has many houses on it.
That's
so
right.
I don't have an issue with Trolley.
No, because it's a town road.
Right, but these other ones, they got green signs, usually the blue's private, the green's town. That's the way it usually works, so we need to figure out, we need to change the blue and tell them no more, or what we're gonna do.
Well, I guess I'm gonna ask you, ask somebody to do some research on it and find out what we have for information. And I mean, I don't think we can stop plowing it for this year.
No, we're not, and I
think
agree
we
with
can do
Denise
that.
on that.
Let's-
We can't do it for this year, but
Yeah.
what I'm just reiterating is we're taking 3 or 4 hours of doing this and taking away from other roads when those are driveways.
So in the spring, if we put this, you know, we can let these people know we're gonna talk about it and we gotta figure out how, I mean, I don't know.
We have to figure out first if they were designated as
Right.
town roads.
But I mean, Walters Road, same example.
That's been there forever.
McKinney goes right up and plows her top driveway, but doesn't do the driveway. That doesn't make sense to
Because
me.
they're calling it a road, not a driveway.
Right,
Right.
So,
but that's my whole point. Why was he going up to plow the end, but not the driveway? That's my whole, you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, the other problem with that is that we're setting a precedence. So if somebody else has got a long driveway, they live out of town, and they say, I want the town to come in and plow it out because you're doing so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, you're gonna be between a rock and a hard place.
I mean, mean, this goes back a long time, probably, I mean, I don't know,
Right,
I've never heard this.
I'm gonna guess, and I don't know that, but I'm gonna guess that that had to be dedicated as town roads at one point somewhere, I don't know when.
I have the document for Walter Road. I do not have the document
So
for
we could find
Robin
one
Road.
for the Walter Road
Yeah, in the road file, yeah. So it was,
and
Is it best
nothing
for the town
else,
road?
you didn't find anything for the other ones in the.
no,
There's only one house at the other end of that.
Previous.
That's all there is. And that's my whole point, it's
The
just,
previous.
I don't think it, right.
The previous road commissioners were very adamant on not plowing private areas. I mean, they were very, so I don't know exactly when this came into being and started. So we have, I guess we have to research it, figure it out, and find out why that is.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get that tonight.
no, but we can, Mike and
Willing
I
to
can work
talk-
on it.
We are willing to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also did purchase a Porsche for the loader, because it's taken us so long to plow up the parking lots with a 1-ton and a V-plow. And with this loader, we can do all 3 parking lots within 45 minutes. It's gonna save us time, it's gonna save us so we can go onto other roads, and this push can do all the dead ends and all that stuff, and they just need to be treated after. So, something that we needed, they probably should have had a long time ago, just never had. Billy had made a homemade one, but that's rough. That's rough. You hit a manhole cover with that, you feel that.
All right, so moving on, we have the living well in Madison reports, 12/3, 12/10, 12/17.
12/3, 12/10 and 12/17 are no reports. Cheyenne has had other responsibilities.
Okay, 12/3. Any questions on that? Town manager report on expenses and budget. Any questions for the town manager?
We're at 48% week-wise, and I think we are roughly 44% in expenditures. So I think we're pretty close on track.
All right.
There is one thing that I think part of the Madison Fire Department is going to go over a little bit on equipment and, not equipment, sorry, safety gear, because he had to replace, he had to get a new coat and a new set of pants, and he did not get a grant that he expected to get, so it's going to be about $250 over out of his budget.
Not a problem. Okay, new business, number 1, notary policy. Proposed amendment to remove exclusions once there are multiple notaries in the office, the town office.
So Triss was the only notary in the office, with the only full-time notary in the office. Kristen also is a notary. She's there 2 days a week. Jeff has become a notary. Julie and I have both signed up to be notaries. We just need to get sworn in by a dedimus, which is going to happen next week. So I'm wondering if there was a reason that in September of 2019 that the board decided to have exclusions on the notary policy. The exclusions being mortgage, real estate deeds, property closings, wills, probate, estate, marriage ceremonies, complex multi-signature things. Kathy, you would have been in the office at the time.
Because of me.
Well, okay then.
I had gone through, well, we had a lot of people that would just bring everything in all the time, okay? And then I had gone to a training thing for a week-long time, and there was an attorney that spoke there, and he made it quite clear that notaries, you do need to be aware of, because notaries could be called to court to testify for something. And I personally, at the time, and many of us, didn't document because you didn't have to document who you did it for. Now I think you have to, and that takes time too. But anyways, I didn't, and many of us didn't do that. And there were some specific people in town that came, and I knew them, I knew them from work, from there, and they kept coming in, and they were bad mouthing each other, and they were trying to do a land agreement between the two of them. So then they come in, they're all of a sudden friends back then. Because I know them way too well, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I am not getting in the middle of this. And so I refused them to do it, and then I called the state, and I told them what I had done, and they told me that I really couldn't without a policy, and I said, well, it's okay. I said, you can take away my notary, I don't really care. Because I said, I am not gonna do that one. And then I asked him to bring it to the board, and asked him, and I said, unless of course you wanna do these, and he goes, no, he goes, I heard you say no, and I thought, I know, you didn't come out, you stayed in your office. So, that's pretty much why.
Okay.
Partially, a lot because of that, and people were bringing in so much detailed stuff, and I don't think you wouldn't want to do marriages there in the town office anyways, because you need witnesses, and they have high expectations when they come in, they want them to do a marriage, they have, those people usually have high expectations, you're going to invite everybody.
They're actually required to have a marriage officiant license now. A notary cannot marry anybody.
Well, okay,
That's new.
that is new, but on my notary, I didn't deny that I didn't send in something to tell them that I didn't want to do that.
No.
And because I didn't, they gave me approval to do marriages. I mean, I've never wanted to do marriages, but,
Mr. Moody.
Denise, can you figure out what exclusions you want to have in your office as far as notaries go?
I'm okay with the exclusion list. I brought it to you because I didn't know if there was a reason based on the limited availability of a notary, or if it went beyond.
Okay, let me ask you, are you satisfied the way it is now?
I am.
Or we don't need to discuss it
Going.
anymore?
All right, citizens' concerns? Citizens' concerns? None.
Randy?
Seeing none?
Randy?
Seeing none. Select board concerns, Mrs. Dwyer?
so are we gonna schedule a, public hearing for that, discussion of the police thing? I know Sean brought it up there, that's how we would, finally make it finalized, is that we would have a public hearing on it.
On the police?
Finalize what?
So, just so that the board, so that, to satisfy the public that we have listened to them, we've given them an opportunity, and be done with it.
I don't have any thoughts on that. We can talk about it in January, but I don't know I don't know. I mean, our choice is either we have coverage we have now, we have no coverage, or we build our own police force. So, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna get at our public hearing.
We said that we were just gonna, we said that we were gonna do it, the public was promised it a while ago.
Isn't that what we did though?
In November.
No, that was a selectmen's meeting, that was a selectmen's meeting, nowhere was it a public hearing. There's a difference.
All right, can we talk about this in January's, not have the public hearing, but talk about it again to see what we want to do. I don't really know what it's going to do for us. Any comments, or I just don't see what that's going to do for us, but we can talk about it again.
I think, I was quite satisfied the way that the sheriff and his chief deputy explained what they were doing for this town. Not only that, how much they were saving this town money by doing all the administrative paperwork and stuff on top of that, which would cost us dearly if we did that. You know, as far as the coverage goes, the whole state is in the same thought as far as coverage goes. I mean, I know the state police are down 60 people right now, and they just cannot get applicants for the job. So, you know, I don't know what more you can tell the public or explain to the public that what we've got is what everybody's got, and it's not gonna change for a while. And the way the country is going, who the heck wants that job anymore? You know, I mean, if they've got questions about it, I mean, get us at town meeting. We'll have the sheriff there to explain all of this stuff to him, but
That's at a regular selectmen's meeting. I just don't see what we're gonna get out of it.
I don't either.
Anything else? Me? The only thing I have, and the town manager and the superintendent are working on it, is a plan to address emergencies, disasters, who's opening what, for warming centers, shelters, things like that. We're working on that, so I just want to bring it, make sure that everybody understands that, you know, I don't think Madison was trying not to be sympathetic to people, but we don't have that. Usually the Red Cross, FEMA opens things up and they say, this place is open. It's not necessarily the town, because you just can't walk into school and say this place is open as a shelter, because you gotta clean it, you gotta man it, all that stuff. So we're working on a plan in case something, hopefully it never does, but something like this week happens, we have something in place and somebody can be activated to provide a spot, whether high school or junior high or middle school or wherever, elementary school. So that's in the process. We do have an emergency plan which town manager's activated from Tim, and we're going to review that, and then we're going to get the players together and figure it out. Okay?
And that meeting that we're gonna figure it out should include the county, the highway, the sheriff, the fire department.
Everybody that's involved. And so we have a clear understanding of if what happened on Monday happens again, or what's still happening happens again, where this is what's going to happen. And, I mean, it might, if it's the high school, it might cause the closing of high school until such time as everybody's back in their house. So, I mean, people have to understand that concept also.
Yep.
So, we'll move on and we'll get it set. If anybody's like to be part of it, we can certainly get you a seat at the table. And the other thing is, the January 8th, I will not be here.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Looking for a motion to go into executive session. Number 1, real estate matter pursuant to 1 MRSA 405-6C. All right, a motion and a second, go into executive session
Thanks, Mike.
pursuant to 1 MRSA 405-6C. All those in favor? All in favor, the motion carries. We are in executive session at 7:02.